Welcome back to the Mad Spideyverse. I'm Mad Spidey, and thanks again for tuning in my channel. And Tyler, what's going on, mate? Good to see you. God, it must be early for you. What is it, like 5:30 or something? 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, something like that. No, you're probably on your weird shifts, as per normal. I thought, bugger it. I don't think there's actually that many books in here. It's only a fairly sort of small pass. I'm getting down to the end of this so-called collection, I suppose you could call it. What I might do is, if anybody does want to jump in, I'll chuck the link down in the comments. That way. I know you're always, we just missed you on the Legion stream, mate. So don't know what sort of shifts you're doing and things like that. I hope Lisa's doing all right. I know it's been a little while since she had her medical stuff. We won't go any further than that because that's private. But yeah, I hope she's doing well, mate. But yeah, I think I've only got 2 people watching. But yeah, might as well open this up, get into it. I'll probably need a bit of help because I can't even remember whether I think these is getting towards the slightly bigger books now. I know there's the 2 biggest books from the collection, which are sort of not big boy books, but they're sort of the ones that were the most expensive in the collection are going to be on the last one, but it's going to take me a little while to pay them off. So hey, Beef, hope you're doing well, mate. So let's might as well get into this. Get out my trusty Mad Spidey knife that Scott from Hoarder's Hide got for me. All right, let's get into it. He always wraps these. I know you love my long box openings, Tyler. Job even wasn't at work. Oh, so you're actually at work. Well, get back to work then. I've been working over the last few weeks. I've been missing and everything else. Yeah, it's all right, mate. You'll get back to it. You got to earn that money to get those big books that you're after. Louis, what are you doing up, brother? I didn't actually think any of the US people would be up yet. So, all right, let's get into this parcel. All right. Getting into it. I know it's early, Louis, but you're more than happy to jump in, mate. All right. Yeah, at least this guy does pull tabs. I know some of the parcels I've been getting lately, it's almost like the Burke tape gate. It's taking me like 3 hours just to get into it because of all the bloody tape. All right. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's not as many books in this. Might have to get out old trusty key collector to work out if any of these are actually key issues or not. All right, more pull tabs. Getting there. Yeah, almost there. There we go. All right. So there's what? There's probably about 10, 12 books, something like that in this. So we'll see what we got. Some old school Marvel Spotlight. I don't think this is a key. Well, let's have a look. Son of Satan. I said I've been wanting to get into a bit more of the old school sort of Marvel horror books. Try to pick up some Tomb of Dracula, some Werewolf by Night. I classify sort of Son of Satan in that sort of that sort of grouping, I'd suppose you'd say. Let's have a look. All right, let's get out old good old key collector, unless anybody's going to beat me to it. Marvel Spotlight. I don't think this is. What have we got? Number 12. 12. First full appearance and origin of Son of Satan. So there you go. Hey, Joey Bagger Sevens. Hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, so that is first full appearance of Son of Satan. So that's classify that as a key issue. There we go, Louis. There's a Spidey book in here. Marvel Team Up featuring Spider-Man Man-Thing, number 68. I've got a feeling this book actually picked up a little bit of heat. I've got a feeling that the character that's... can't remember his name. There was supposed to be a character that was possibly in the Doctor Strange movie was going to... I think this might actually be his first appearance. What is it? Number 68. See if I can get down. 68. There we go. First appearance of Display or Dispayery. I can't. An ancient demonic agent of fear and I think a wave of Marvel Legends action figures includes Display, but it's not likely related to the Doctor Strange 2 movie, though it's in the same release slate. So I think that's what everybody was specking on, because when the Marvel Legends books figures came out, they put this character in there and they thought it was going to be in the Doctor Strange movie. So I think that's why it picked up a bit of heat. So definitely another cool old school Marvel book. Oh, some old school jungle action featuring Black Panther. So number 18. Let's have a look. Let's go jungle action. That'd be volume 2. What do we got? Number 18. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Part 13, the conclusion of the Panther's Rage. First appearance of Madam Slay, the love interest of Killmonger, who later resurrects him. Okay, so sort of a minor key, I suppose you could call it. Well, according to Key Collector, we all know the Key Collector's not always right, but it's still a good source of information for the most of it. Another jungle action book. So the one before that, so number 17. Pretty sure that's actually Killmonger on the front there. So I've already got it open at jungle action. Part 12 of the Panther's Rage. Death of Eric Killmonger. Knocked off a cliff by a boy who simultaneously saved T'Challa's life. Okay, so they actually kill off Killmonger in this. So they obviously would have brought it back. Hey, Biggie. Hope you're doing well, mate. So, yeah, I suppose Death of Killmonger. Still sticking to my old school Marvel stuff. So, still going with the jungle action. So, jungle action number 8. Actually looks pretty clean. A few spine ticks and stuff. It's actually a pretty clean copy. Let's have a look. Number 8. Number 8. Part 3 of the Panther's Rage. Origin of Black Panther. First appearance of Malice, a former member of the Dora Milaje. illustration of the map of Wakanda. God, they got some weird stuff on Key Collector. They really do. But yeah, another old school Black Panther book. I've got 2 hours of sleep and still waiting to get to bed. Hey, werewolf by lunchtime. Hope you're doing well, Darren. I need an 8. Never had that one. I thought you had everything, Biggie. Well, almost everything. I know you like me and you want everything. All right. Fantastic Four, number 244. I've got a feeling this is the first appearance of Frankie Ray, who becomes Galactus's herald, I'm pretty sure. Biggie will probably beat me to it because I know his knowledge is quite good, or really good, should I say. Let's have a look. The only problem is trying to get through Key Collector and loading on my phone is going to take a while. Somebody will probably beat me to it, but I'm pretty sure that's first appearance of Frankie Ray. Come on. Don't want everybody sort of waiting for me. You was right. There we go. I knew Biggie would know. I wonder if it says anything else or it just says first appearance of Frankie Ray. Come on. Where are you? Almost there. Yeah, just says, first appearance of Frankie Ray is the second Nova becomes a Herald of Galactus. So, yeah, another key book to the collection. I got FF52 though. Yeah, I still want. There's so many keys in the FF run. I really do want some of them, but it's so expensive and so hard to find over here. It really is. I need that 244 to complete 229 through my FF. Sorry, mate, I don't sell books. I've never used key. Oh, I don't know. No. Need to make a game show. What? Who can beat me to what the book is? That'll everybody be winning except for me. Oh, is an old Tales to Astonish book. If I say Tales to Astonish and say Hulk, maybe Mark from Legion of Comics will show up. So Tales to Astonish, Incredible Hulk and Submariner, number 99. Now, I don't know whether they did they do 2 volumes of Tales to Astonish? Because I don't think, even though that looks like an older book, I think they might have actually done another volume in the Bronze Age. Tales to Astonish. Come on. Yeah, I think this might be from the second volume, quite possibly. Come on. No, maybe not. Maybe it is from the first volume. Because I know a lot of these Tales to Astonish books are keys. 81, 90, 93, 98, 99. First full appearance of Lord Seth, an Atlantean ally of Namor. Okay, so minor key. It was a cool old book. I said, Tales to Astonish and Hulk, will Mark turn up? And he did. Well done, mate. Well done. Tales of Suspense, Strange Tales, and Astonish, all with their own thing. Yeah, and nearly every one of them was some sort of major or minor key at some stage. But yeah, still cool old Tales to Astonish book. I know First Living Lightning too. So there you go. Key Collector has no idea as usual. But yeah, another. Yeah, I did, Biggie. I did. As soon as I say Hulk. Yeah, so that's a cool one. Now, these ones I was really looking forward to getting. I'll actually type it in first before I show them. I'm pretty sure this was a fairly limited run. Oh, so this is not even going to show up. This doesn't even show up in the thing, so I don't even know how to search for this now. Oh well, doesn't matter. Still cool old books. And yeah, I'm not sure how big this run was, whether it was only a limited run or not, but the original Ghost Rider, Carter Slade, so 6 Guns and the Supernatural. So Knight Rider #1. Once again, it's a bit of spine creasing there, and there's a few little ticks and bits and pieces in there, but all over, it's still a pretty clean book. I don't know whether this is because that's a 25 center. I thought they actually did some. They might have done some maybe in the Silver Age. I'm not quite sure. You guys are more knowledgeable than I am. You'd be able to know when the original one was done. So Knight Rider 2, Ambushed by the Tarantula. So I'm pretty sure it's still Carter Slade though. So and these books are, yeah, like I'm never fussed by quality as long as the books are complete, but these ones are actually fairly clean. So some cool old school, I'll call it Ghost Rider. Knight Rider #3. I'll just chuck the I think it goes back to Gold Age. Oh, I didn't think Ghost Rider or Carter Slade Ghost Rider, which is obviously called Knight Rider, I didn't think it went back that old. But you guys, as I said, you guys would know better than what I would. I believe Knight Rider is a reprint of original Ghost Rider re-released to change the name for legal purposes. Okay, cool. Still some old school Bronze Age Marvel goodness. Gotta love it. That's a cool cover. #4 as well. So I tried to look in Key Collector and I couldn't even see it. So obviously none of these are keys. So I'd probably have to Google it. But yeah, still some more cool stuff. And we're still going with the Knight Rider theme. So #5. Yeah, I was never big into westerns or anything like that, but yeah, when it's got anything to do with Ghost Rider, he's another one of my favorite characters out of the Spideyverse. They would be as Ghost Rider. Ah, okay. Yeah, just because we all know how good Key Collector is. Well, with the older books, they're usually pretty spot on. It's more the more recent ones they're quite often, a little bit funny on. And Knight Rider #6. So I don't know how big this run was. But actually, let's have a look, Mark. Let's see if I type in Ghost Rider. Let's see what pops up. Cosmic Volume 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, there we go. Oh no, so the other ones actually have Ghost Rider written on them. But actually, isn't that the same? Hang on, where's #1? Okay, no, different cover. Just look like yeah, because #2 looks very, very similar. Yeah, so you might be right, Mark. I think they're all they must have just been reprints. I've given up trying to get an MS5. Oh yeah, Mark. Yeah, first appearance of Johnny Blaze. That's high on my list. I think that's another book I'm just going to be like, I'll never get that book. But I'm probably more close to getting that book than I am to an Amazing 1 or an AF-15, put it that way. Mysterious Westerns 1. Okay. Yeah, I've heard the market's sort of slowly dipping a little bit, but it's still like all these books that I want, like, they're still ridiculous. Like, I can't see myself spending $5,000 on a book. I just never have that kind of money. Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing and Deathlock. So number 54. I don't think that's anything special. Let's go Marvel. I don't think many of the 2-in-1s were any sort of keys of any kind. 2-in-1. Let's have a look. Also, don't know how many volumes. They seem to be going up high in number. What number was it? 54. Oh, okay. There's a big list on this one. No, I don't sell books, mate. I never sell anything. And that's probably my problem. So, first appearance of Titania. Davida DeVito. Sounds like Danny DeVito's bloody daughter or something. Later becomes I can't even pronounce that. First appearance of Screaming Mimi. First appearance of Pound Cakes, whatever the hell that is. First appearance of Letha. First team appearance of the Grapplers, a female wrestling team. And also Death of Deathlock. Okay. So a whole heap of little useless minor key information there. So yeah, I think that's the only one that I know of because the first Mockingbird was in a 2-in-1, which I don't have that book. It is on the list to get. And the lucky last book in this one, and this is one I definitely wanted. Definitely some good old Kirby goodness. Black Panther, number 1. So I definitely, as soon as I saw that this was according to sales there, I have 415 first appearances. I don't even know how many first appearances I have in thing. I just know I have a thing, but yeah, I'm definitely glad to get this book. You can definitely tell by that dude's face that it's a Kirby cover. Definitely wanted this book for quite a while. I have some of I think I might have a couple of the later edition ones, later sort of numbers, should I say, but yeah, definitely glad that I was able to pick up that. Now, I'm pretty sure I only have 2 or 3 books left in this collection because, as I've said before, I'm paying this collection off because I just can't afford to just pay the whole amount of money. And it's also good because then I can spread out the content, do some lives and things like that as well. So yeah, I'm down to sort of the first 2 parts I did were mainly just a few little minor keys here and there, but mainly just filler books with cool covers and stuff like that. This pretty much is a whole stack of keys, minor keys, pretty much. But the 2 last books, which will probably take me a little while to pay off, are the two of the biggest books, or are the biggest books in the collection. So, I was watching Civil War, and that was a Bee's Way for a King that will come to die. Yeah. So that's it for that one. I didn't want to go sort of too long. I can go for a little bit longer if anybody wants to jump on and show anything. I have put the link in the description a little bit further up. I didn't want to go too long because I know Mark will be doing the Legion Hangout. So obviously don't forget to jump onto Legion of Comics' channel. Pretty much almost in exactly an hour to thanks, Louis. Appreciate it, brother. yeah, jump on a Mark stream for some good old fashioned community hangout goodness. Yeah, be talking random crap, be talking comics, talking movies. Hopefully, they won't be talking too much wrestling, like they usually do. I'm watching Little Shacker. I would. It's all good, mate. No dramas. I appreciate it. Hey, Chris. Hope you're doing well, mate. No rush, bro. I'm at 3 grocery store. Oh, okay. It's all good. It's all good, mate. Still got it. Yeah, as I said, it's still got an hour to go before the community hangout. I might jump on that for a little while. I told Mark I'd try and jump on for a while. Probably the only other thing that I want to show is this. it's a gimmicky thing, but I've been trying to put it into my background when I'm doing my pre-recorded videos, and for some reason it's not big enough. It's definitely not big enough. I'm getting it caught up in the cord. Just something really gimmicky and sort of funny. I tried to, put some, because one of the comments in my 300 subscriber giveaway was have something more in the background. As I said, it's a bit hard because it's curtains with windows and it's only just a little ledge. I don't really have much to sort of show. And obviously it's a bit hard to put any of the rest of the stuff in here in the background. So, yeah, it was, it's a little bit hard to do it. So I thought, when I went to Oz Comic Con last weekend, I saw these. There was just a Spidey head, and then there was this, and I thought, oh yeah, this will be better, because it's a bit more to it than just a head. But when I put it sort of, in the background back here somewhere, you don't really sort of see it as much. So yeah, it's just the same thing on both sides, Joe. So like that doesn't move. That's just a base. Like it's literally just, the light's coming through there, just shining up into there, and that's all it is. Just plugs in via USB. So yeah. So I don't know whether nobody's going to jump on, but it's probably way too early. People are either getting ready for work, or you should talk about spiders more. You obviously watched the Lee with the Whack Comics entry into my giveaway. That was very well done, actually. Calling me Australia's deadliest spider. I thought that was quite hilarious. But we all know what Whack Comics is like. We all know. we all know what he's like. So, but yeah, I don't actually know whether there's anything else. I'm in the middle of. I know Mark was liking this. He said this was a good watch. Watching Stargirl season 2 at the moment. Yes, he's like MadSpidey watching DC stuff. But yeah, I don't collect DC stuff, but I still watch the DC stuff. Yeah, really enjoying it, actually. I've only got, I think, 4 or 5 episodes to go in the second season. And it's actually really, it's really good. It's quite of a bit of a head fuck, I suppose you could say. Because the main, whether people have probably seen it, but the main villain in it is Eclipso, which I don't know much about, obviously, because I'm not a DC guy. But he's projecting, like sort of images and things like that. Showing people their past, trying to trick them. People trying, as if people are trying to kill them and stuff like that. So it's actually, I've been catching up too. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it, actually. It's one of the better DC shows that showed up. Like, yeah, I loved Arrow, I loved Flash, Legends, and all that sort of stuff. Like, a lot of people lost interest after about the first or second season in a lot of those. But I actually enjoyed them. I really enjoyed Gotham. A lot of people didn't like it. I actually really enjoyed it. But yeah, like the Stargirl one, obviously I don't know whether they're trying to focus it more. Like the first season seemed like they were trying to focus it more towards sort of, the younger age groups. But I actually thought it had its darkness in it as well. Obviously the ISA, with a lot of the baddies and stuff like that were, sort of killer types, I suppose. But yeah, no, it was really, really interesting actually. I didn't know anything about Stargirl. Like I knew of her existence, but I don't know anything about history or storyline. Don't know anything about Starman or whatever, the older guy's called. And that's why I'm loving some of the independent, the DC stuff, because I don't know the history, or know very, very little of the history. So it's actually been very interesting to watch. Obviously, they're not going to stay true to the comic books like a lot of them do, or don't, should I say. But still, you're getting some sort of, based in fact, I suppose you could say. I've watched the first 4 episodes. Obviously, there was another one out this week. I haven't seen it yet. I usually try and catch up on. I don't know anything about Harry Styles. What's Harry Styles got to do with anything? Yeah, I'm really enjoying The Boys as well. Like, I didn't know anything about The Boys. Like, I've met the co-creator of The Boys, Derek Robertson. He came out to Australia probably 2014, 2015, something like that. Really, really nice guy, awesome artist. I do have a piece of art from him. I know Beckerman is always trying to tell me I'll send it to him or sell it to him. It's never going to happen. But yeah, The Boys that's just a full-on show. I haven't watched the cartoon version. Was it Diabolic or something like that? I think it is. I haven't watched that. I don't know whether that's any good. Whether you guys have actually seen it or not. You can tell me whether it's any good or not. Like, obviously, I take people's opinions on board, but I always just watch it and make my own judgment because I'm fairly easy to please. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I like that a lot of people, think it was crap. But yeah, really enjoying it. So, but yeah, unless you guys have got any more questions, or I don't know whether there's anything I can really get that you want to see. But yeah, you haven't watched the cartoon yet either. Oh yeah, yeah, of course, yeah. The end of the Eternals. I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know much about Star Fox either. Well, I didn't know anything about the Eternals. Like, I knew a few of the characters. Like, I'd heard of Icarus, I'd heard of Cersei, and a few of the others. I'd heard of their names. I'd never read anything. I don't own any Eternals books, I don't think. I wouldn't mind getting some of the Eternals books. I know they've dropped a lot. Obviously first appearances and all that sort of stuff. But yeah. What were the other tables issues you got? Tables issues? What do you mean tables issues? I'm lost. What were the other? I can't even remember now. Tables issues. Did you write that wrong, or tails issues? I'm thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Tables issues. I still don't know, mate. As I said, like that, all of them that I pretty much have, or the ones that I've bought from my mate in Vegas are still there. He's driving, that's why he can't. You shouldn't be typing and driving, Mark. Naughty boy. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what I bought, to be perfectly honest. Like, I can have a look at what I physically have at home, like what I actually know I have now. But I don't actually know I've forgotten what's still in the boxes that I still got to get over here. And don't ask us to ask questions. True, very true. Where is? I always struggle with CLZ sometimes. I really do. List. Come on. In collection. What is it? Tales to Astonish, isn't it? What have I actually physically got here? Tales of Suspense, Tales to Astonish. This Tales to Astonish, isn't it? Yeah. No, I've only got one book from volume 2, Mark. That's all I've got here at the moment. So as I said, most of them, I've got a few books of Tales of Suspense. I know that's not Hog books. But yeah, I've only got one issue of volume 2, which is obviously a very small run. Yeah, that's a a lot. Like, no word of a lie, and this is an absolute disgrace. Ugh. Hang on, bring that back a bit. Well, there's like a whole stack of. Yeah, we'll move that back a bit. There's a whole stack of t-shirts there. There's probably about, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 t-shirts sitting there at the moment. Probably got another couple of hundred floating around. Most of them I don't fit into anymore. But yeah, and unfortunately, like over here, like as Werewolf will know, being another fellow Aussie, the used to be able to find them in. I know you guys are over in the States. You've got Kmart and you got Target. You don't have Big W, I don't think, over there. But they quite often would have, like back in the day, they'd bring out 3-4 different t-shirts at like $10 or $15 or something like that. So every time, we went there, we used to have a 24-hour Kmart, or we still do have a 24-hour Kmart near here. Every time there was Marvel t-shirts on or whatever like that, I would literally just get them. So I used to just be a large. Now, depending on, and that's the other problem with the brands. Sometimes I'm an XL, sometimes I'm a 2 or a 3XL. Like, I'm not a big guy. Like, I got a little bit of obviously chunk on me. But yeah, I'm not like, big out this way or anything like that. So I usually an XL or a 2XL. As I said, like, there's a place here called JJ's, which, as I said, Werewolf would know as well. They quite often have a lot of t-shirts, but they're very small sizing. So you definitely have to get like a 2 or a 3XL if you can, just, so because I like a loose fit. But like, I know with the I got a t-shirt from DJ Links. I asked for an XL that fitted fine. So obviously American sizing, I'd say I'd be an XL, 2XL at most. I do know, I remember a couple of friends of mine, this was going back, I wouldn't say chunky, I would say sloppy. or loose, just loose fitting. I don't like tight t-shirts. I haven't got the body for tight t-shirts. Hey, Kenny Bird. Hope you're doing well, mate. Speak of the devil. There he is.
Definitely have the body for tight t-shirts.
So you're all in the new place, mate. Not set up for a background yet, obviously.
No, I'm just sitting in the kitchen right here. I mean, we're here. There's still a lot of stuff to move.
Yeah.
Like the knick-knack stuff. We just started hanging pictures yesterday. Most of my stuff, like the stuff like the collectibles and stuff, still hasn't been moved yet.
Have you picked a location for where you're going to do all your stuff from, or?
Yeah. That room.
Okay.
That's the hot toy and that's the shelf that's normally behind me with like the trades and the book.
Yeah.
That's all that I've got ever. Brought that home from work yesterday. Well, not from work, but I leave work every day and go by the old house and throw stuff in the car. And yeah.
Nice. So yeah, it's obviously like most people will know, you move house, it'll take you a while to unpack all those boxes.
Yeah, we're Hey. He's in there on the little drop cloth. What are you doing? But we got, for the most part, we're just like loading up a car and just driving over and putting it up when we get here at this point, and trying to throw away as much as we can. We're done with the boxing stuff up process pretty much.
Oh, so have you still got stuff at the old house?
Yeah, a good bit.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were totally empty.
No, we've got the house till the 30th of this month, so we're not trying to box a ton of stuff up and come over here with it. We're trying to just like fill up a car and come over here and put it up as we go.
Yeah, oh, Grey Man. What's going on, mate? Yeah, like I've been sort of lucky. Like I've only ever had to move once, and I was like 6 or 7 or something like that. So like I don't
the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I don't know much of the process. Like I've helped plenty of people move. Just an extra car always comes in handy, even if it's a small car. You can always take some boxes to lessen the load for everybody else. So
yeah,
like obviously I'm getting asked a bit now because I have a I'm not supposed to use it, but I have work van to get to and from work that like stays at home. I'm not supposed to use it for personal stuff, but I can ask if I need to.
Yeah,
when Simon moved, I was going to ask, but
because the situation of the move and everything, it was kind of like a slow move. We knew at the end of April we were going to be moving, so we kind of started everything in May and just kind of getting rid of stuff and trying to just kind of organize it, and then the actual like moving of the big stuff like the furniture and the dressers and all that kind of stuff. I had it set for this past Tuesday because I was going to be off. And the movers called Monday morning early and said that they had a change in plans and they were available that day. So we ended up doing it Monday on the fly, and that's when we pretty much got into this house, when we got our ability to sleep here. You know what I mean? So it was weird, very weird day. I mean, we're here. It still doesn't feel like it. You know what I mean? Like it's still too new.
Yeah, you wake up and you're like, where am I? I don't know where I am.
Most definitely. There's chickens nearby too. I was sitting outside before you went live, sitting outside with the dog, just listening to chickens.
Are you next to Remy?
It must be. Closer than we thought.
Oh. So are you further away from the chaos of the golf tournament when it happens, or
I'm between 10 to 15 minutes down the road. So where I was at was a great location. Like where I'm at here, going to work, because my job is like a couple baseball throws away from the tournament. When I'm at work and there's a storm coming, we hear the golf course sirens going off, calling in the golfers and stuff. So we're super close. You know what I mean? So there's no way of getting around it. Because it's just driving there through work. But where I was at was a great location because like I was just coming up the back of it. Like now going to work every day, I go on the road that the Masters is on.
Oh God! So, you as you said before, you said it pretty much takes over the whole town anyway. So you can't escape it regardless.
And it's really just like a really condensed couple square miles right around it. Everyone, as farther away you get, people are spread out, staying in different places. But as you get closer to it, everyone's converging, and it just jams up traffic can't take the freeway to work, can't take the main road to work. I'm going to have to go around basically
Try and find a
like I'm going,
shortcut.
like, go up to my old house and go that route the same way I would used to go to work when it's tournament time. People get out there early, man.
I could imagine, like, because it's one of the biggest tournaments, isn't it?
It's the biggest golf. It's the biggest golf tournament. It's the Super Bowl of golf.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I don't know anything about golf, so
I only know about this one.
you've been forced to pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Have you caught up on any shows, or you just haven't had time?
Yeah, I'm caught up on everything. I don't watch The Boys, obviously, in the middle of the night on Thursdays, and wake up and hang out with you guys. And because of its age restriction, I kind of got to be picky and choosy about when I watch it.
Yeah,
I tend to just watch it when I can.
Yeah, and that's probably the same with me. It's like I don't watch because I don't have any of the streaming stuff at home. I'm always, that's when I go to Beck's on the weekends. That's when I catch up on everything if I get a chance. So yeah, I'm still an episode behind on Obi-Wan, Miss Marvel, The Boys.
The newest episode of Obi-Wan was like a make or break episode for a lot of people. There's plenty of people out there that are still saying that it's just overall the show is trash. It's just
I'm
another
enjoying
Boba Fett. But this episode, for me, delivered enough on in all seriousness, the most recent Spider-Man movie, by all accounts, was not a good movie if you're trying to critique it as a film. But but as a movie-going experience, it was phenomenal. The fan service was great. The moments in it, and it balanced it out. The fact that there's less than zero plot in it, barely enough story to keep it progressing. None of that actually suffered because the fan service was so good. That's how this most recent episode of Obi-Wan was.
Yeah, like I can understand the point of view from the first episode of everybody's just saying he's just a creepy old dude, bloody watching a kid. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. Like I'm not a big critic. Like I'll enjoy something for what it is. Like obviously some things are complete and utter trash, but like being a movie buff and things like that, like I try not to critique too much because I don't want to get in that negative headspace. I just want to enjoy, even if I only enjoy parts of it, just say, yeah, I enjoyed parts of it or something.
Dude,
like
I love critiquing the hell out of movies, but like with Spider-Man, like I said, critiquing them and your experience of them are two different things. You know what I mean? Like I use this as an example because it's the best there is. I'm a huge Roger Corman fan. He intentionally made like B and C rate movies, but he's a legend in the filming industry because he knew what he was making. He knew what he had to work with, and he leaned into it. He didn't try to find the entertainment value in the quality of what he was doing, but the experience of what he was doing. So it's definitely more than one way to enjoy films. I can critique the hell out of Obi-Wan. It is riddled with problems, but those problems are not taking away from the enjoyment I'm getting from the experience right now.
I like Morbius too, Joe.
See,
a lot of people hated it. I liked it.
That's objectionably a bad film, but that doesn't mean you cannot have fun watching it or enjoying it. It's two different things,
And it's probably coming from me because like I've said this before, like I love a lot of the old martial art movies and ninja movies and stuff like that, which were typically B, C, D, bloody, all the way to Z grade, if you want to go that far sort of movies. They were all done on low budgets. They weren't, the best movies, but I still enjoyed them because I love that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I've gotten over trying to critique stuff and just try and enjoy something for what it is.
I don't think I can get past critiquing stuff. I just watch stuff, and I do the same thing with books. I just read stuff, and it's like if you spend enough time watching movies and TV shows, it's kind of like a certain behind the curtain thing happens. Like you just hit this point where you just notice the little things and you kind of can see through to the production part of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose there's you can sort of you can either be one of three. You can either you can be a diehard critic and like dissect everything. You can just be a lover and just enjoy it for what it is, or some people can be both. I try not to go on the critique side too much. I just, as I said, just try and enjoy it. Like, as I said, a lot of people absolutely hated Morbius, thought it was absolutely shit. I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I enjoyed some of the special effects. I thought Jared Leto was actually like I don't really like Jared Leto, but I actually thought he was a good casting for that particular movie. I thought he actually did a good job.
I don't think there was a chance of that movie being anything more than it was. Like, why does it exist for one? They should have. I don't know. I think the only chance of it succeeding was it to be an actual like horror movie. You know what I mean? Not just have horror elements, but like a legit horror movie, not an action movie with a vampire. They've
trying to make a vampire into a superhero movie.
Yeah, he's not. And if you're going to do it, it has to be something that I guess established for him.
I thought Morbius was a 7 out of 10, mostly because CG seemed Russian fights. I actually liked, like, it wasn't, next level CGI stuff, but I enjoyed what they did with it. I liked the sonar stuff. I did like the flashing, fight scenes and things like that. A lot of people didn't like that. They thought it was a bit low budget. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that sort of stuff. So, like it's.
I can't believe how big of a push it's getting to the negative. Like how people have already created this cult following for it. Like it's fun to like how bad it is. You know what I mean? Not talking about the people that legitimately had a good enough time watching it, but it's already going around on Instagram. Like people using the term Morbin and stuff. Like
Yeah,
I don't know if it warranted all of that. There's plenty of movies that have been a lot worse.
Yeah, like I always remember, and I can't remember who it was. They crapped on me for it. I said one of the most boring movies I ever watched, and I would never watch it again, was Enemy Mine.
What? With Dennis Quaid?
Yeah. Like, but the thing is, though,
how old were you when you watched it?
That's what I was going to say. Like, I probably watched that. When did that movie come out? That was
the mid-late 80s.
Mid to late 80s?
Yeah.
So I probably watched it as a kid.
So did I. Yeah.
And so I probably watched it and went, this is boring as shit, and never watched it again. But probably if I watched it now, I
have you thought about how odd it is? Like, so those that don't know, like human alien crash, like fighting each other over survival, end up like getting along with each other. But the dude alien, it was a dude, ends up having like an asexual child that Quaid ends up raising and taking care of.
Did you hear Disney announced a Wonder Man? I'd seen some rumblings about it.
Nor and Rad, if you follow Legion of Comics on Instagram, I keep you up to date on stuff like that when I'm once in a while. I think I have like 3 good days of the week where I post stuff. Yeah.
Post some gems of wisdom.
and then go back to life.
I did. I think it might have been your post actually that led me to that, and I only just saw that today. So
Louis Gossett Jr. was the alien, the first one, not the kid that grew up. It grows up kind of fast, but I love that movie. I've got that movie. I've always liked sci-fi stuff. I still do. Still just really enjoy sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, I've never been a massive sci-fi guy. I've always been, as I said, the martial arty stuff. I was big into horror when I was younger, not so much now.
Like what kind of horror? Just all horror? Like I mean, when you say when you're younger and into horror, most people are going to be talking about like the slasher stuff.
Yeah, more like the Freddy Krueger stuff.
I was never big into Freddy Krueger growing up. I'm a Jason guy. I still am. The Freddy movies are too goofy. They were even goofy to me as a kid.
Well, they got they got goofier as they went on. Like the original first, probably from what I remember, I haven't watched them in years. The first probably 2 maybe were the real horror type. Then they started getting a bit goofy, a bit more sort of, I'm gonna laugh when I'm slicing up people and that sort of stuff.
Dream Warriors and all that stuff that they did.
Yeah, well, I still remember seeing.
But if you look at the time when those were coming out, every franchise was goofy across the board. Like you'd just had Jason Goes to Hell, which was goofy and him hopping bodies. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that would have been Leatherface, the one with Viggo Mortensen. That one was kind of played a little more seriously, but the budget was weird for that one.
Well, the budget for the first one was like nothing, because that was sort of almost like
tends to work out good though.
Yeah, because it was a lot of people almost sort of looked at it and went, "Oh, it's like almost like a handy cam sort of job," but I think it was intentionally low budget and it was sort of made like that. But
I just always go back to the stretched out arms walking down the alleyway, scratching both sides of the wall. I'll tell you what, the second one though, at the end in the pool party when he comes out of the kid's body and just like kind of tears it away and steps out of him, I thought that was super dope.
Yeah, because have I got some of them? Actually, I think I've got some of them.
Boom, just followed you back, Norin. I'm going to send you my generic thank you for following me.
So I got the
message.
Steel case of the original.
Mm-hmm. Gunnar Hansen was awesome.
Yeah, that's got a lot of dust on it. There's number 2.
Always been my favorite. Yeah, that's where it gets crazy. Toby Hooper lost his mind when he was making that movie, but he did it in a great way. Bill Moseley, that's one of Bill Moseley's earliest movies. He plays.
I can't remember which one this one was.
That's Michael Bay's first one.
Michael
Bay did 2. He did that one in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's all right, because I think that one had Jessica Biel in it, didn't it?
Yeah, Jessica the Body Biel.
Yeah, like I still have, because obviously, when I went from collecting VHSs to DVDs and Blu-rays and all that sort of stuff, I had to replace a lot of this stuff, and a lot of it wasn't necessarily out for years. So it was sort of just an accumulation of, when does this come out? Okay, now I can get rid of the VHS, and now everybody's into VHS and it's all retro now. And I threw like hundreds and hundreds of them out.
I got a tote of VHSs that we went through and trimmed down what we're going to keep, and I'm just giving a couple bags of them to a friend local here. Said he would take them instead of throwing them away. They're only worth like a couple of bucks. Ain't nothing crazy. I think out of all of them, the only one that might retain any value, and I just mean more than $2-3, maybe a $10 bill or something, is E.T. on VHS, because that's like been the movie's been like cancel edited, like the end when the kids take off on the bikes, the FBI kind of cuts them off and they fly over the cop cars, and all the cops have guns drawn on them. But now if you watch E.T. or go and buy E.T., they're holding radios. They edited the guns with CG and put radios in their hands, so they're pointing radios at them.
Oh god,
this is goofy. But yeah, you need to. Have you seen the newest Leatherface movie that they did for Netflix?
No. I want to watch that, and I also want to watch a lot of people didn't like it, but I'll still watch it. The Candyman, the new Candyman one as well.
Yeah, I need to see that as well. That was another one that just fascinated me as a child. Not a lot going on in it. It's a lot of just kind of tone and mood that really pushes the intensity of it. But man,
I just love Tony Todd's voice. Just that really deep voice is he's got a perfect demeanor and voice and look.
Did you ever watch the Wishmaster movies?
I think I have some.
About the djinn from back in Persia.
Yeah, that was Robert Davey. No, it wasn't Robert Davey. It was the other guy. What was his name? He was always a bad guy in all the B grade movies. What was his name?
That played the djinn.
Yeah, can't think of his name now. So I think I might have 1 and 2 possibly.
Kane Hodder.
Is that what it, oh, that's not even
Well,
the name I
no,
was thinking.
Kane Hodder is in it as Merritt's guard. Okay, so no, Jason Voorhees is Kane Hodder. Nick Merritt is the main star. Josh Ackerman. Angus Scrimm is the narrator. Let's see if I can figure out who plays the Jinn.
Andrew Divoff. That's who it is.
I don't even see him listed on here. That's crazy.
God, how many Wishmasters do they do? Oh, they did
I think
4.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool because they had all the big names in it. Like Tony Todd was in it. He was the bouncer at the club named Valentine, and he just talked you into making a wish or saying the word, and then just torture you with it. And but I love the opening scene. It might have been the opening scene of the second one when you get the flashback and to the Emperor saying, "I want you to show me wonders," and him just like killing everyone in the room in crazy ways. Like one person's skeleton rips out of their body and goes walking around and stuff. And
the bit I always remember. I can't remember if it was number 1 or number 2, where he's like a fake lawyer or something like that, and he's in the like interrogation room, and he says something like, "Why don't you go fuck yourself?"
yeah,
And then he starts bending backwards and shit
Yeah.
like that. That was hilarious. What the hell is Biggie doing?
those are definitely some good movies. The Ultimate Villain in Beast Wars is pretty dope, but I doubt it will make the movie like the cartoon. Yeah, there was a comment earlier about Transformers Beast Wars movie is coming.
MadSpidey's voice over Tony Todd's. Yeah, I don't know about that, mate. It's funny. Actually, have you ever seen... I've never actually watched it, surprisingly enough, but there was actually more of a... I suppose you'd almost call it like a bit of a slasher sort of flick. There's an Aussie movie called Wolf Creek.
Yeah, I've watched it. About the woman who gets kidnapped by the crazy guy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I watch movies.
Yeah. Just when most people, when I talk about movies, like Australian movies and stuff like that, most people like don't know what you're talking about.
Have you seen High Tension?
Have I seen High Tension? I know I've heard of that movie.
Just look it up real quick. It's see if the image of the cover rings a bell. It should be a cover with like a greenish black background with a woman with blood on her, short blonde hair, holding like a concrete chainsaw.
Oops.
But she goes on a trip to meet her significant other's parents, and they get attacked in their house by someone. But the twist was you find out that it's her and her twisted mind seeing somebody attacking them, but it's really her doing all the killing. But it is savage. It was one of the most gruesome death scenes I've ever seen when the dad gets his head stuffed between the rails on the stairs, and then they slam she pushes the bookshelf and slams it into his head. It's gross in the best way.
Yeah, it's funny they've show. I don't know whether it's supposed to be French or something like that, but you go to IMDb and that's the first picture that pops up. That's not even in English. Or the high part isn't anyway. Yeah, because it's like when we were talking about Tamura Morrison, and I'm like, oh yeah, you got to watch a movie called Once We're Warriors, and everybody's like, don't know what you're talking about. Like, because it's a New Zealand flick, and he plays a character called Jake the Muss, and it's about sort of like two warring sort of tribes, but this guy's like an absolute like brutish drunk that just beats the crap out of anybody that crosses him, and it's absolutely brutal as hell. But yeah, still like low budget New Zealand flick, but it's very, very well done. Has Mark seen Chopper? Probably not.
No, the Eric Bana movie.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it.
It's probably a little hard if you don't know, because like based on I suppose you call him like a thug called Mark Chopper Reed. And he's famous for like getting, cutting off his ear in prison and stuff to get out of prison and all this sort of stuff. But he's pretty much, he's he's a bit delusional at the same time, where he's like, oh yeah, I'm working for the cops, I'm gonna go kill bad guys for you, but he does bad stuff as well and things like that. It's actually it's an interesting story, but it's very twisted. But if you don't know much about the real person that it's based on, it can be a little bit hard to follow. What's this? Australia has great horror movies. Yeah, not too many though. But we met. I knew Beeford as soon as I said Once Were Warriors, he'd pipe up. Is heavy shit. It really is. The sequel wasn't that great though. I can't remember what the sequel was called.
Twice Were Warriors. Oh shit, we're still warriors.
Last time we chatted, I told you what horror you should watch. The Cursed.
I think earlier he mentioned Sinister. That was a good couple of movies.
Sinister. Don't think I've.
It's almost like a slant on the ring. Like they move into a house, find some old film reels, watch them, and it's footage of a family getting massacred. There's different footage and films of it. They're cursed by a demon that inhabits the child in the house and urges and pushes them to massacre the family horrifically every time. And it's definitely wild. It's very wild. I think Ethan Hawke.
Has it got Ethan Hawke in it?
Yeah, Ethan Hawke played in the first one.
Mm. Like I always remember there was one movie.
Well, too.
It wasn't overly scary, but it really got under my skin. Was People Under the Stairs?
Oh, bro, Daddy's Home. I love that movie. That's early Ving Rhames, dude.
Yeah,
Daddy puts on the leather and goes to town. That was a. Man,
I saw that at the movies, and that
good one.
I was like, every time I'd go up like some non-solid stairs and stuff like that, I'd be like walking up, looking down and shit. That really, like as I said,
like think how scared people who got kidnapped must have been after that. Like, oh no, I'm kidnapped. I'm going to turn into a mutant now. Great. You know what I'm saying?
But it really hit me, that movie. Like, as I said, not the most scariest of movies, but it just, like, it really did impact me once I saw it. As a
kid, I'm sure you're the main protagonist of the movie is a kid. All the people under the stairs are kids. It's a very kid-oriented movie for adults. Bro, when he sends the dog after him in between the walls and everything, and accidentally kills the dog. Dog's dead. Dude, they were just such great characters. It's definitely early 90s. It's got that camp to it. But
I think it was like 92 or something like that. I think it was
super intense though, man. It was a good one.
Yeah, What Becomes of the Brokenhearted was the sequel to Once Were Warriors, and it wasn't nowhere near as brutal.
I remember Cursed. That had like that super gory scene in it.
It was about 1800s gypsies, cursed revolutionary soldiers, and their children turned to wheel. That's not the one with Christina Ricci in it.
There's also what is the name of this movie? It has it's got cowboys and Indians in it, but it's like a horror movie, and there's like these creatures that burrow through the ground. I think it might be Burrow. Let me see.
Not Tremors.
No, but Burrow movie.
Yeah, isn't The Curse? Is that the one with Christina Ricci in it? Or was that just Cursed?
No, Cursed. No, that's a Kevin Williamson film. The same guy who produced rights did the Scream movie. He did that one. It was pretty fun. Yeah, it's just called Burrow. No, this isn't the right one because I'm thinking one from older than that. What was the name of that movie?
And one of my always fond memories was some of the goofy ones from the early 80s, like Ghoulies. Like little alien dude, but he coming out of the toilet, and they were hilarious. How about, you spelled it wrong, Simon? I think isn't it D-E? Descent.
The Descent is really good. The second one, not so much. I love those found footage type movies. And I think that was The Descent a Neil Marshall film.
That I'm not too good when it comes to the directors and stuff like that much as what I used to be.
Man, that's the only name that matters. If you're wondering how a movie's going to be or where it's going to go, that is the only name that matters.
I want to see Prey. Is that the new
Yeah,
Predator
Predator.
one coming up?
Yeah, the Burrowers. Check that out if you ever get a chance.
Burrowers.
Burrowers. I think that's it. I had to just Google movies with underground monsters to see if this. I think that. Pretty sure that's it. If I remember, yeah, Clancy Brown. There we go. That's it. So, do you remember Pet Cemetery 2? The dad who kills the son with the dirt bike by lowering it down on him until he gets.
I haven't watched it for a long time. I struggle.
Troopers.
I struggle watching any film that kills animals. I can see people die every day, all day, but when it's got animals in it that die, I struggle a little bit because I'm a
Oh, dude, that's the whole premise of it. Don't worry, they come back. This movie. You'll probably cry happy tears for this movie. Then, yeah.
I never saw the remake. I've seen 1 and 2. I've probably seen 1 more than I have seen 2, but
I haven't seen the remake either.
I haven't seen the remake. But it's funny you're talking about Predator. I've only ever seen 1 and 2. I don't think I've seen any of the other ones.
Dude, I really, really enjoyed Predators, which was the third single outing.
Is that the Adrian Brody one?
Adrian Brody, yeah. They took it back to like this cool guerrilla style filmmaking, and they wanted to do the whole feeling and sense that the first one had, not trying to like be the first movie, but kind of like intentionally filming with stuff in the like instructing your view from the characters and everything, because they did that with the first one a lot. They kind of give you the sense of how thick the jungle was. You know, if the people are walking down, you're filming it, you want to have some brush in between you and stuff like that. It just, I don't know, it was just a cool concept. Like for the first time with Predators, we were kind of in their habitat. We see their home world for a very short clip in it, and we're on like a game reserve where the characters all get plucked and dumped there to be hunted in their fields, kind of thing. We get a new dynamic and factions of predators. You know, it's not just like, oh, we all live in harmony and go out and hunt each other. We war between ourselves and everything too. It was cool.
Yeah, I need to. And there's so many movies I need to catch up on, but you just get stuck watching new stuff all the time. Like, I rewatch stuff all the time, but it's more when you get like a, you know, so you go, I really want to watch that, so I'll just go and watch it.
Yeah, it's easier to rewatch stuff you've seen 1,000 times and watch new stuff. If you're tired, you got stuff going on, you fire up something new, you're not watching it. You know, you fire up something you've seen 1,000 times, you can watch it without paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, but like as I said earlier before you popped on, I'm really enjoying it. Like this is,
I told you,
it's getting really like psychological, like mind fuck sort of shit happening, and
you're in season 1 right now or season 2?
Two.
Oh, dude, 2 is, man, I like 2. That was really good.
That's what I mean. Like, because, and I always say I don't know much about the DC characters. I've heard of Eclipso, but never knew any powers, what he does.
Yeah, you know who the Spectre is, right?
Yeah, I know who the Spectre is. Yeah.
Yeah. So how the Spectre is the literal wrath of God with a capital G in the DC universe. You know, the biblical God exists in this omniverse. Obviously, not the way that he's portrayed by people in the real world, but he does exist. He's somewhere in it, like like in all the comics, there's multiple hells. You have like the Viking heaven, and that like all these places exist, and he's the literal wrath of God. And the Spectre got that job because
he showed up in that.
Yeah, the Spectre got that job as the wrath of God because the guy who had that job before him got fired. Before the Spectre, he was too much, too crazy, too vengeful, and didn't listen and was rebelling and just trying to destroy everything. And that person that was so savage that he had to be fired from being the little right hand of God is Eclipso.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he's it's like because obviously the first season was more good versus bad, you know, bad group, good group, all that sort of stuff. Whether this one is all like up here.
Bro, how about the finale when when
I haven't
Mike,
watched. I haven't watched all of season 2 yet.
I'm talking about season 1 when
Season 1.
when Mike hit him with the car at the end.
Oh,
I'm like, what? Yes.
and he's like,
See,
it was
that's
an accident. It's an.
yeah,
He's been saying it all through season 2. It was an accident.
yeah.
Oh, mate,
Bro,
like, yeah, good.
I'm so excited for it. Season 2 just gets fun. Like, obviously, we're just dealing with the JSA. You know, this is focused more on like the Justice Inc. series, and like Norin said with Jeff John's sister there. That's why this show is so good. That's why anything that's going to have to do with Stargirl is going to have 100% of his heart and mind behind it. And he's just paying perfect homage and respect to these characters, doing it in a way that's quirky, fun, very serious at times. Like kids get killed. You know, this is you think like you're in one type of show or you forget what type of show you're in, and then a kid gets thrown in front of a bus, like literally.
Well,
And,
first episode, kid dies in the first episode, like in the first 10 minutes. Like you don't physically see it, but you know what's happening.
Talking about season 2 now, right?
Yeah.
Dr.
McNider.
Like
I'm on the last.
How creepy disc. Was that too? That little boy is something creepy.
Oh. No, but he keeps giggling. Oh yeah, that's like some old school like Chucky laughter sort of stuff. So I got the last disc, so I've got 4 episodes left. So I'm surprised it was only 13 episodes. Because most of the DC stuff usually, tries to stretch it out to that sort of 18 to 20 to 22 sort of episodes.
You gotta keep in mind, this isn't like originally a CW show. This show was scripted, plotted, and started when it was a DCU original still for the app, for the streaming service. And after the ball was rolling is when DC started making the change, rollover, absorbing into HBO Max or whatever, and that's when they started finding the future homes of their properties. They sent Harley Quinn to next day release on Sci-Fi Channel. They sent Stargirl to next day release on the CW channel. They gave the backlog 1 season of Swamp Thing to CW to show, which was goofy, and they gave Titans and Doom Patrol to HBO Max. So with everything kind of condensing yet again with the Discovery merger, I'm very nervous for Stargirl. If we're guaranteed season 3, and I hope that they just bookend it, I hope they cap it, I would be more than happy with just 3 solid seasons. I don't want to get one of those.
Instead of them trying to drag it out like all the CW stuff does.
Instead of them dragging it out too long, because it's okay to deliver just a good product and end on a high note. That there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But it's not okay to have to just stop a show where it stands when you stopped it at the last season with the intention of another season.
I would have loved to have seen a second season of Swamp Thing. I actually really enjoyed that first season.
Dude, that was amazing. It didn't get canceled for lack of quality. It's probably the best quality one that they've put out. It was just a financial mix-up behind the scenes, filing the tax paperwork for filming in North Carolina. They were expecting to get a specific amount of film credit tax cuts that they did not get, which then immediately, by not getting it, it tanked the budget of the show instantly.
Yeah, I bought it on DVD because we don't get a lot of them unless you've got some of the more expensive streaming things or cable TV stuff. So we miss a lot of that stuff. So
dude, I beta tested that app. I was stoked for it to come out. That DCU app. Yeah, I remember it released it went live in September, but I had it in July. And I was watching it I was able to get on there and read comics and watch backlog video clips and backlog movies and stuff as they were adding them on there. I was just waiting for that release day for Titans to drop. I was like, dude, it's going down. Then it delivered for being a very young, brand new streaming service. They really, really delivered. But now that they've moved it to HBO Max, they need to put HBO Max money and creatives behind it and let it be great, because now it just really doesn't. It looks uneven with its counterparts on that streaming service, because HBO is top quality original.
Yeah, so we don't get HBO or HBO Max over here, so
it just comes on different streaming. Little
yeah,
different
we
things.
get a few. Well, it's funny because like after
Y'all have binge, right? Yeah.
yeah, because Pacemaker, like obviously I was getting it I was getting it from different sources. We'll just say that
from the link. From the link.
From the link, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like about a week or 2 weeks later, we find out that it's coming on binge.
Yeah.
But it was like about a week or two behind. But the problem was though that's another streaming service, and it's like, how many do you buy? It's like everybody's like, oh, but it's only $10 a month. It's like by the time you got Disney Plus and you got Netflix and you got this and you got that, you're paying like $50 to $100 for all these streaming services. It's just ridiculous. We need to just buy like one that has them all in it.
If you weren't somebody who was going to pay for some kind of cable package, that seems ridiculous. But like, if you get cable with just a decent amount of like the channels that you'd really want, you're looking at like over $100 a month just for cable.
That's what we have is Foxtel. Foxtel is what that used to be, but most people. But the problem is you get basic packages about $50. And then it's like, okay, but you don't get this and you don't get that.
Yeah,
okay, I want this. Okay, you have to add this amount of dollars and this amount. So to get a full package, it's about $100, $110 a month.
Yeah, or you can just pay for HBO, Hulu, Netflix, and you're good. And you can always rotate one around, like wait on something to come out for a while and do a month and binge it or something, and then just cancel that month and switch over to a different one. We have all of them, I think, except for Paramount Prime, and I don't use the paid Peacock service either.
Yeah, so I'd never even heard of Peacock until Rob started mentioning it, because that's definitely something we don't get over here. We had Paramount for a little while, but we don't buy it. I don't think there's anything on there that I want to watch.
So I've got Mike's. You could use the VPN if you want to go that route, but most of the time you have to pay for VPNs if you want a decent one.
Yeah, well, that's what we were going to do originally.
Too many streaming services. I pay for 3, and that's too many. That's really just a preference thing. It's also going to be like your house dynamic. Like I've got a 4-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 2-year-old. Things like the Disney Plus, that comes in handy for them. They watch a lot of the cartoons and stuff. Same thing with Netflix. They watch more on Netflix than they do on Disney Plus. HBO Max, that's for me all day long. And there's a lot of free ones out there too. And the Amazon Prime, that's just included with having Prime. And we don't, but it's between me and Pops, like between our two households, we have all the streaming services. If it's one that he had set up already, him and his wife, I just have the password. And then everything that's come out in the last few years, I've set up and just give him the password.
Yeah. Well, so we did, when The Boys' first season came out, we just did the free trial for Prime. So I could just binge it in a weekend and then we, disconnect it. And then it's like, oh, Boys season 2 is coming out, and then Invincible was going to be on it and stuff like that. So I ended up saying stuff it. I ended up, she's paying for a couple. Now I'm paying for a couple, but they're all on her PS5 or whatever it is.
PS4. I'm about to hop off here, man. And
I was going to say, I'm looking at the time going,
face off and everything.
Yeah, you need to set up. So yeah, we'll end this. Thank you everybody for watching me and watching Mark and I talk movies and series and stuff. But go jump on Mark's channel in about 5 to 10 minutes for the community hangout. We will all be there, and that's it. Take it easy, people. And